Hello, hello, and welcome. So nice to be here today, this beautiful day here in our house. It's a pleasant day. This is a bit warm, very clear. There's a bit of smell of smoke, I think. The rains are a bit late in this season, so there has been some fires around, so I can feel a bit of smoke, but the breeze coming from the sea, it dilutes that unpleasant smell of smoke. Some of you maybe are or lived or live in a place where fires are a common thing in summer, so uh, you know what I mean. I am very happy to be here with you, sending this message, this presence to you. We've been traveling for the last week in a pilgrimage to this beautiful and sacred place, like 1,000 kilometers away from the place we live. We live in northeast of Brazil in a city called Fortaleza, and we travel by car 1,000 kilometers. It was very long, but the place we visit is amazing. It's called Serra da Capivara. It's a place where it concentrates pictoric, ancient pictoric expression of human beings, and these paintings are concentrated in this area. So it's one of the biggest places on earth, and we've been walking those caves. We were walking the landscape, feeling like imagining and nourishing our imagination through these places, how these men, women, maybe children were playing with these paints to express what they were seeing. And now, after 50,000 years later, we are seeing those scenes so beautiful. And at the same time, how the story of this national park, the story of this Serra da Capivara. I'm going to write it here. Maybe you want to take a look on it. It's so amazing. The story on this French Brazilian archaeologist that went there and perceived the value of this place and brought the community, the farmers, the peasant into the project, and all of them in a community. They create this beautiful project with 2 museums, with amazing projects to protect the places, these places. So it was a beautiful and nourishing experience to us. I'm Rama. Maybe you already know me, and I've been for some time sharing experiences, my experiences, through different ways, different gestures, with rituals, with movements, with words. I've been trying for the last 5 years sharing what I've been learning from ancient traditional tribes, especially Chaos Nation, a beautiful tribe in Peru, but not just them, people from the Guarani community in Bolivia and Argentina, indigenous people from the Amazon here in Brazil, and peasants, and my community neighbors, people that are amazing and beautiful. And I'm all the time trying to bring this ancestral wisdom to aim for a dream, to aim for a dream. Today, this morning, I've been giving a lecture on good living. And good living is a beautiful thing, but sometimes it could be abstract. Good living in the Andean tradition is an attitude into life to acknowledge that we are part of a network, a living network, and find my spot on that fabric, find my purpose in that fabric. From the acknowledging of purpose and belonging, then naturally becomes the participation on and the protagonism on what is going on in the place you live, in your society, in your neighborhood, in your landscape. Then after that, after you recognize this, you can dream together. And especially today, I want to at the end of this talk, I want to share with you the way I've been using as a ritual to dream about what I'm sharing with you. This space that we call K school, Kai school, Kai. This word is beautiful. That's why we receive that word, Kai. Kai in Quechua language means it's a verb. It could be a verb. It could be being or to be. It's the verb to be, right? In Quechua language. But at the same time, that word means essence. It's like if you can translate this word in English, you can say the essence of presence, the essence of to be here, to be here and now. Kai especially refers to the world of the presence, here and now. Kai Pacha, the presence, the existential presence. So Kai, the essential of presence, of being here and now, is what is guiding us in this school. We've been, as I said, sharing courses, sharing trainings. We've been creating different excuses to meet and weave together through this aim, through this kind of dreams. We've been together in Peru in a pilgrimage last year, and I've been bringing some you can say lectures. I would like to say like poetic talks about threads of understanding that sometimes I pick through my experiences, through what I've been living, and I've been creating this live streamings in YouTube to not to teach or to give information, but more than that, I would like to make some kind of noise into what we accept as normal, as daily life. So that's what pushed me into these encounters through these years. And especially now, I've been dreaming a lot on how to make it grow as a plant, as a tree. This morning, as I've been talking about good life needs patterns to understand and develop. You and me, just imagine yourself and myself. How can I have a good life? How can I feel that I'm having a good life? It's a very important question and not easy to answer. And obviously, it's shaped by the culture we live, the things that we believe that are good, are truth, and are beautiful, right? So, depending on the culture, sometimes you can see something that is true, and in other culture, this is true. But the interesting thing is not to make it just one true, but acknowledge and respect and give dignity to different possibilities of experience good life. So good life is not a recipe. Good life is a possibility of communication and resonance between each other, everyone that lives in a community, to express themselves in their potential, but especially recognizing the purpose. As I said, we need to recognize to being part of a web, a fabric, a living web, fabric. Every time I had a difficulty and I overcome that difficulty, sometimes if I create synthesis in my head of that situation, I could say, okay, I was in a financial difficulties, and then I woke up one morning and I started to walk and make exercise, and then I got the courage to find another job, and then the crisis ended. But we forget to recognize the living fabric of that, the the conditions that allow me to have a good sleep, the my friend that advised me to walk in the mornings, my partner or my children that were pushing me to come out of depression through jokes or games. Recognizing the landscape as changing and offering me inspiring moments to come through that difficulty. Just give an example of how we can change the vision on the situations we lived. So much of what we've been doing all these years is dreaming on how to improve the conditions of communication with us and with the landscape. When I say landscape, I'm talking about the life that surround us, the life that surround us. Everything, everyone, alive beings, not just the living beings that we have learned in the school, but the wind that blows right now, slowly blows in the trees, the sun that is spreading light so you can see me. Those conditions are living beings. And we were dreaming all these years and sharing that experiences in different ways of creating that communication, acknowledging something more than human world, something beyond us. And that beyond, we can call it spiritual world, we can call it the soul of the place. In the ancient traditions, they are used to create that communication. That's why we were putting a lot of attention on the position and visions on ancestral cultures. But not just to make it a good topic on a social chat. I don't want you to just know about Keros Nation to talk with your friends about it. I would like to understand that this can change my perspective, and then when I say our perspective, and then this perspective could impact in the environment we live. We're living in a very dramatic moment of history, especially in these few months. There's a lot of tension, there's a lot of change coming on. And more than ever, I think we should establish some kind of clear connection with ourselves, with our body, and then with anyone who shares with us life. From there, not from the computer, not from a YouTube live stream, but from the people and the beings, the wind, the sun, the stones, the trees. From them, from that dialogue, you can take decisions. Not from me, not from the computer, from this silent communication you can establish with the place, with the other protagonist of this living fabric. So we have been doing this for quite a long time, 5 years. I've been sharing courses on Andean traditions, healing traditions. I've been sharing courses like offerings, guiding animals. I've been sharing training on Kai movements, which is ritual movements from the body, from the dance that creates the body, to perceive the vibration of other beings, and make sense. And we are about to launch this new course related to stones, especially stones. Stones are the interesting beings on the landscape. In our culture, the stones are just the lower rain. They are in the lowest level. They're just scenario. But for the ancient traditions, the stones, some stones collected or found in specific conditions, they could be ritualized, sacralized to become partners on the understanding on the vibration of the place, like the voice of the place, and then an unimaginable, powerful tool for healing. So next week we are going to start this course. I've done this course like 3 years ago. It was beautiful, and I wanted to repeat it because it's so beautiful, because it makes us go into the field. It pushes us to recognize the place we live. It makes us put our body into finding places that are sacred in our landscape. And from that connection, the connection between the landscape, my body, the stone, and the archetype, the force that puts everything together, from that connection, we may find ways of healing. So it's a beautiful course. I'm gonna give you the link for registration. Hang on with me just a second. Okay. Here. You're gonna see it in the chat if I find a way. No, I didn't get it, but I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna get it here. No. Okay, I'm gonna make it available in the WhatsApp group. Hang on here. Sorry about that, but it's here. Right. So if you want to register, you can enter that link. And we have some news as well. Next Wednesday, we're going to restart our practice of Kai movements. We have been sharing live classes of Kai movement for some years in Spanish, 5 years in Spanish and 2 years in English. So we're gonna restart our live classes. I'm gonna send you the link in the WhatsApp group. And we are going to launch in the next week a podcast with some of, I'm going to try to be precise on this. The podcast is about, it's a craft. You know, I love handcraft. I love to honor my hands. My hands are far more intelligent than my head. I'm sure of this. And the podcast will be guided by this handcraft, artisan attitude on life. We're going to explore the good life or the good living uh, forces and ideas and poetry through different chapters or episodes in English. I'm going to try to, well, speak in English in my way. I think you get it, most of it. You can have it in Spanish if you can understand it. I'm more fluent in Spanish. But I think the podcast is a great opportunity to explore and expand different ways of sharing what we are finding in our explorations. And before we end, I would like to share with you this little thing, little practice, if you can say, that helped me to dream about what we are creating with Kai School. I've been actually using this for a long time. I've been creating in 2008. We create a community, intentional community movement, and we build 7 communities in Argentina and Brazil. And one of the most important practices was dreaming. And you can say, dream? Maybe dream is just losing yourself. If you realize, if you imagine what is dreaming, it's like going to sleep and dream. You just lose yourself into somewhere, dream. But actually, practicing daydreaming right now, as we are waking up, as we are aware, dreaming is one of the most important tools to align our purpose, to make it resonate what we do, what the choice we make with the living fabric that we are part of. Every time we take a decision, every time we choose a path or aim to some kind of direction, there is a point of view, there's a vision that we are stand on to take that decision. In the culture we live, most of us, we grew up in more or less the same hegemonic culture, neoliberalism, capitalism culture. It's a very individualistic society. We live in a very individualistic society. So we usually have been trained to follow my destiny and become the maker of my destiny and walk into what I want, what I feel is right. But the ancient traditions bring something different, not to avoid the individual perspective, which is beautiful, but it's not complete, it's partial. And that partiality brought us to a lot of conflicts. Most of them, we can see it in the news if you turn it on. So we are losing the other aspect, which is the community, the others. So if we can align the others into my choices, if we can resonate to the others, well, those decisions could be better decisions, or decisions that respect and nourish life. The question here is, who are the others? Other people? Okay, so you can open yourself to connect with other people, but the other is not just people. Well, okay, the animals, the pets, and then the wild animals, and why not plants? Why not trees? Why not tomato plants, as they are in my vegetable garden here? Or why not wild plants? Why not the soil? Why not the stones? Why not the wind? Well, you can say, okay, I can't understand what the wind wants. Do you? Okay, that's the point. The dream attitude make us break the boundaries between each other. The dream, you can agree with me, every time we go to sleep, in the dream time, all the limits are plastic, are loose. In this oniric, imaginative state, everything could be possible. So that's why dreaming is so important, because it could make us align into the common purpose, so we can take decisions that protect, nourish, and inspire life. So there are many ways to do this, but I want to show you this little ritual. Then you can do it in another time where the ritualistic aspects are more interesting, not in front of a computer. But you have to find this space and time. The ritual is made on a very sensitive decisions we make to combine a special place and special time together. So we can perceive that maybe the full moon is appropriate for ritual, and maybe uh, in on top of a mountain, or near a beach, or beside a tree. So a place and a time that is particularly important. We can decide that, and we can find this ritual moment to perform what I'm about to share. So the first thing, when you find your ritual moment, space and time, is to be open to an intent, at least an intent, like an intention. For instance, we are about to start this new year, so maybe what would you want to feel through this year? What kind of challenges you want to overcome or experience? What kind of difficulties you want to face during this next month, this next year? So aiming into giving some direction to the dream. It's not just completely open, it should be some kind of directed. So you just take a moment to create that intention. And that intention should be clear as a sentence. So you can write it with your hands or just keep it in your head. But write it in your head. For instance, I would like to learn to paint in this next year, for instance. I really would like to paint. So this is my intent. Just an intent. When you have it clear, you can close your eyes in that place, in that time, out of ordinary. And start to breathe slowly, calmer, connecting with the sensations of your body. Your body is not out of this moment. The body is all here, feeling, participating. So now I would like you to imagine yourself in this special place you are with your eyes closed, but you can imagine yourself there, sitting and trying to be open to connect. And I want you to imagine that in front of you, as you could have a magic pen, you can write your intention, your intent in the sky. Just write it. Imagine that you are writing it in the sky, slowly with beautiful letters. Just write it on the sky. And now imagine that you are reading it. Okay, it's clear. The intention is clear. And now take a big breath and imagine that you are blowing into this writing in the sky, and suddenly the letters are diluting, are disappearing slowly. There's like a cloud created by the ink dissolving in the sky. And from that cloud, slowly, that cloud is showing you behind that cloud some kind of answer, but not a clear answer, not an obvious word, but maybe an image, maybe a sound, a feeling. Just slowly allows that from that cloud that is getting clearer and clearer, it's showing you like a dream the path, the ways to find that dream, to crystallize that dream. Just stay there without controlling it. Just let it come slowly. The cloud is getting out of the way so you can perceive from your intent this direction. Just stay there, receiving that as an answer. And slowly get your attention back to your body, to your breath. And if you want, you can join your hands in your heart and open your eyes, saying with me, Urpichai Sankochai, Urpichai Sankochai, Urpichai Sankochai. What I'm saying, Urpichai Sankochai. That means in Quechua language, it's a grateful feeling to being grateful for an experience. Literally means the dove that nests in my heart flies to your heart. It's a poetic way of being very grateful for something. So before we lose that, if you want, just write it down what you have seen, or draw it, or sing it, or you know, try to bring it into matter. Whatever you have dreamt, just bring it here. And from that writing, from that poem, from that drawing, from that song, give it wings so it can reshape your decisions, so it can guide it like an oracle, guide you, guide your decisions. Like whatever we do is not just me taking the decisions, it's the dream that we share with everyone that is guiding us. Maybe this could allow us to take better decisions for us, for me, for my children, for my neighbors, for the planet as a whole. You can make this little simple ritual every time you want to remember that our life is all the time guided by dreams. Sometimes we forget that. But from childhood, we are being chasing dreams from childhood. Clara Luz está ahí. I hope you can make it the next weekend in the start of our new course on healing stones. I remind you that the first class is going to be 2 classes, Saturday and Sunday. The Saturday class, which will be the opening class, it will be open to everyone. So if you want just to be curious and see what's going on that, you are more than welcome. I'm going to send the link to the class into the WhatsApp group so you can join. Maybe you are not very clear on what is going to happen or how will be the course. So you can join next Saturday and then you can decide to register. And I hope you can make it next Wednesday. We will have this new class of Kai movements. And well, I'm glad to have the opportunity to be here and make contact to you, to somehow weave the kind of world we want to live together. So I thank you for your attention, your presence, and I hope to see you next Wednesday, next Saturday, or when life allows us to meet. Big hug and see you next time.